Agarth wanted me to keep an eye on Lady Shear, but you and I need to have a talk first. I've been reviewing my notes of our last trip to Alabastra, and I've come to some startling conclusions about your death and Tirnoch. I don't know exactly, but it must have been a tremendously powerful source of magic. So powerful that the Well of Souls couldn't help but pick up on it. You were attuned to the well in my lab, but Hugh's well captured your essence. The power in Bale seems to have been the missing element. What's more, I think that power is the source of the Prismere crystals. Something intelligent and malignant. The creature the Tuatha called Tirnoch. Something incredibly powerful. I don't know if we even have a name for what she is, because no one's lived to name it. She's not a god. She's something much, much worse. And judging by the growth of this Prismere, she's very close to coming into our world for good. Whatever Gadflow's been doing, it's all in order to bring her here. So you've got to stop him before it's too late. With tremendous difficulty. Even so, there weren't as many Tuatha here, and we used magic to keep us hidden. Magic which you provided, in fact. You never did explain where you got those fascinating little artifacts. Tirnoch isn't a god. No god has ever commanded that much magic directly. Whatever she is, she must be amazingly powerful. I can see why Gadflow would worship her. Imagine controlling that much raw magic.
Until one night, when nature changed its course, and Gadflow, like an errant thread frayed from the weave, took the crown from Mathon's head. "A joke," he said. "A joke?" And the court swayed in laughter. For Gadflow's was often like the mockingbird, with many calls, but none of his own. He placed the crown upon his head, and smiling, took a crimson sword. He betrayed the Fae with a swing of his newfound freedom.
Ventrinio insists on coming with me. Just as well. Someone should keep an eye on him. No telling where his true loyalties lie, or what he might do. I was going to sneak there by myself, but Ventrinio insists on following me. Don't worry, I'll make sure he's safe. Very noble, but we need to stay separate in order to avoid drawing too much attention. The gnome is more than enough for me to deal with. I'll see you soon enough. Don't worry. I'll see you in Alabastra.
The skulls atop high fulgen shine, and coldly gleam in a precise line. For us who chew on hollowed bones, while alive we wail vapid moans. It's delight for us to feed, to feast, we the winter of the east. We the corpses in putrid bloom, we of decay and twilight gloom. Will never halt our hungered wait, till spilled blood is on our plate. So come into our lands at night, and see an endless victory.
This land used to be beautiful. Gadflow's corruption has reduced my homeland to this barren waste. And it's only getting worse. The Pale Country, once the peaceful home to the Winter Court. Now Gadflow squats in her heart like a rat in the flesh. My homeland will not suffer this indignity. Together, we must extract the Tuatha, even if it means the end of my people. Bale, the icy heart of my people, with bridges of woven stone and ice. It sickens me to think of what Gadflow's people have done to it. Before Gadflow's rise, he was a battered whelp of a fae. Now, his suffering has only added to his power. I hear he keeps a stable of trolls, but I can't be sure if they're his pets or his lovers. Dren is the defender of the House of Pride. He may help the Tuatha, but he doesn't serve them. You've still got plenty of this blasted wasteland to go. You're lucky you don't remember how beautiful they used to be before Gadflow. Now keep your wits about you. These Prismia crystals are alive, and inside them, I feel something horrible and hungry. I've spent countless centuries in these lands. I promise, I know a few shortcuts. Watch out for Twilight Pass. Whatever's happening here, it's getting worse.
The anger festers in the heart, and perfectly you play the part of hero to the summer's west, bringing Tuatha to their rest. Why do you try so hard in vain? Why bring the others senseless pain? Don't you see, mortal, don't you see the body impaled on the tree? Will you not witness their loss and feed upon the awful dross? Or walk again past corpses new, without care for the rotting few? And he was not alone. Like the weave unraveling, the Tuatha now tainted the purity of Mathon's court. These new immortals, the Tuatha Daon, were no longer the solemn fae of the East. Their essences twisted into a ravenous host, unsettled, unnatured. From the nothing of winter came Gadflow's malice. O gloried stranger in our land, bringing death with the fate's own hand, filling the graves with corpses new, that feed the vultures, mortals too. Yes, they'll eat the flesh of the dead, and tear the limbs off, and the head. They only need the slightest lie to give them reason as to why their minds should be free from all guilt, and that is how your morals wilt. Continue, stranger, in our home, where demons tread and evils roam. For you are now a part of woe, blight, dusk, ruin, and living foe. And he named it Prismir. It grows far beneath the Amethyst. It pierces the world, and the blood that flows from these wounds feeds Gadflow's hungry mind. These crystals, this Prismir, whispered to him promises of power, of godhood. It corrupted his nature. The seeds of a blizzard sprouted in the form of a beautiful crystal. It was a gift from her, ere we knew our doom was at hand. If you were here, then you were sold to the putrid lands of the old. Your lost body will burn, to crumbled ash will your bones turn. There is no hope left for your life. Wielding hammer, sword, or knife will not save you. You are the waste of a contempt's malicious taste. And what awaits your untuned mind is what you hope you'll never find. The vilest, darkest, blackest thing. The conscience of a reigning king.
Agarth will not be far behind you. Neither of us saw any sign of Aelin Shear or Ventrino. A scout on the ridge above saw the two Arthur mounting for a counterattack. You should hear what he has to say before we move on. If you'd rather not wait, talk with Agarth. Time is of the essence. House of Pride, our shining beacon. Now its light is dim and faltering, but it still stands against the darkness, as it always has. Agarth, if he tells you he's ready, then my people are as well. Of course, if you wish to proceed with caution, the scout on the ridge will know what we're up against. Careful. This is worse than I feared.
Good to see you here. Ready? I am. But there hasn't been any sign of Aelin Shear or Ventrino. Damn it all, I knew we couldn't trust her. I sent Ventrino to keep an eye on her. He was sending me messages until recently. But there were fewer and fewer as we've gotten closer to Baal. We need to get through the House of Vengeance and kill the Cur. And we'll have to do it without them. He's the closest thing Vengeance has to a leader anymore. A face so consumed with hatred that he's little more than a beast. If you're going to get into Baal, the Cur has to die. No. Whatever Gadflow is doing in there, it's growing with every wasted minute. Even if Aelin didn't betray us, we don't have time to wait. Listen, you're more powerful than I ever was. If anyone can stop this, it's you. When you kill Kerr, go into Baal and stop Gadflow. If we get separated, we'll keep fighting to keep an escape route open for you. Now go. Stay on guard. Looks like this is it. Onwards! We're nearly there.
Let us be the sign for the mountain god! Fear not this time.
Well fought. That was amazing. You're twice the hero I ever was, or could have been. Our forces can't keep going from here. We're stretched too thin, and we've lost too much. Sidon and I will hold the gate for you as long as we can. But Bale is nearly deserted. Head in, face Gadflow, end this. Not at all. You just get moving and put an end to Gadflow while you can. Do that, and I predict our future involves sharing drinks and war stories around a cozy fire. Trust me, I'm a Fate Weaver.
My deepest apologies for not being able to join the battle. Ventrinia was something of a hassle. He attacked me. It was only a matter of time before his greed got the better of him. The closer we got to Bale, the more obsessed he became with Tianok, and with harnessing Tianok's power, just like Gadflow did. That's why he had to be stopped, and why we need to talk about our mission. I wasn't sure I could trust you. You're not the same person you used to be. We're running out of time! I'll explain as we go! Lead on. I'm right behind you.
The winter court was still as fallen snow as the jester danced and capered. Juggling knives and torches, he sang to his lords and ladies, but none smiled. Not an eyebrow raised as the snivelling jester imitated the king, not even when he took the crown from his head. Because this was the day that Gadflow murdered the winter court. This was the day the Tuatha were born, and our people became a sacrifice for Tiernach.
Fighting at your side, just like the old... that has been spilled for centuries. Keep the world from being consumed by greed.
Since the alabaster wall was young, the beautiful bone-white forest was a place of peace and meditation. No piercing birdsong nor heated word could find its way between the branches. Quiet thought prevailed until Gadflow shattered our land. The Tuatha's crimson axes chopped the forest for arrow shafts, and Tiernach's Prismere spires rose up to consume what remained. Now our forest is shattered, and screams of warfare fill its boughs.
When Gadflow's army arose, we recognized Tiernach's tainted influence. Only a force like her could warp eternal creatures like the Fae. So you came to infiltrate Alabastra, find Tiernach, and seal her away forever. And you used Ventrinio to get in, under the guise of being his assistant. This is no time to dawdle. Somehow Gadflow found a way to reach out to Tiernach. Or perhaps she was able to seek out his twisted mind. She offered him power, and with it, he began the Tuatha. No wonder Gadflow thinks she's a god. Here we are, in the heart of the enemy's defenses. And this time, I trust you not to fail. Ventrinia was right. Tiernach is no god. She has almost as much power, and is every bit as dangerous to the world as any dark god. Her powers raised Gadflow from a jester to a warlord, and in return, his army would usher in a chance for her to enter this world and consume it. You're the one who stepped forward to stop Gadflow and the source of his power, even though fate said you were doomed to fail. This time, fate cannot control you, but I expect you to succeed. Lead on. I'm right behind you. If you couldn't stop Tirnoch, she would use her pawns to fully escape her prison, and the world would be her new plaything. You had to try, even though the Fate Weavers said you were doomed. As always, the Fate Weavers were right.
The greatest heroes of winter have always fallen from the Bale's pale boughs, from Pietra the Keen to Hulgan the Hungry. When the Tuatha claimed dominance over us, heroes arose to defend winter. Gadflow laughed at their challenge and called up Tirnoch's wrath. In a second, our most loyal heroes were impaled by Prismere spires. Our heroes were gone, never to be reborn, and our people succumbed to Gadflow's madness.
When I found you in Dalentarth, when I saw you had come back to life, I wasn't sure how much you remembered. I couldn't be certain you would keep our secrets. I considered killing you then and there. Nothing personal. You would have done the same to me. But then I saw what you had become. I saw the new powers you wielded, and I saw how useful you could be. This is no time to dawdle. Lead on. I'm right behind you. When I saw you could change fate, I knew you were our only choice. So I helped you continue your mission to stop Tirnoch, even if you had forgotten it. But over time, I realized you weren't the same woman you were when you died. You were more. You were better than the heartless commander I had known.
The House of Vengeance enacted the whims of our mad king. The divided court became Gadflow's Tuatha by force or by rebirth. The Winter Fae dwindled before this wave of frenzied strife, and before long, they were soldiers in an immortal army, or they were outcast. The greatest of vengeance, Malwyn, Claran, Vescain among them, became his witch knights. War had come again to the Fae, but instead of by Lord Own, it was Gadflow the King without a winter.
In happier times, the Winter Court would come here to bathe in the colors of the midnight gardens. Night violets and pale moonflowers blossomed on a field of bluest grass studded with frost. When stars aligned, the Aurora Borealis danced for the Queen herself. But now the Tuatha have crushed the gardens and planted only corpses. The fruit of their tortured garden is only blood red.
Last time you came here, you were destined to die. This time, your destiny is up to you.
At long last, Gadflow has crushed the Winter Fae, and his Tuatha rules us utterly. No longer are we reborn into this world, unless his god Tirnoch wills it so. This monster has crushed us, and our kind shall pass from this world. But our memories might yet last. When Gadflow is gone, and his god is left for another people to ravage, I may be freed from my tomb, and then I may share what dreams we made. It is the only immortality any of us may hope for now.
Now we have a chance to finally complete our mission. Let's put an end to Gadflow before his bargain frees Tirnoch on the world. This must have been a lot for you to take in at once, but I need you to be clear on who you are and what you need to do. A lot has changed since you were here last. It isn't going to be as easy this time, and last time it killed you. Oh, she's a creature with incredible power. A dragon, but she is no simple lizard in some child's tale. She has a power rivaled only by the gods. Thousands of years ago, the ancient Alpha sealed her in the Amathen between this world and the world of magic. And there she went mad. As her prison weakened over time, she was able to tempt Gadflow into helping her gain enough power to break free. And if she escapes fully, it will mean the end of all mortal life. Tirnoch's revenge for tens of thousands of years of imprisonment. That's why people like you and I have dedicated our lives to keeping Tirnoch's secret from the world. We were supposed to keep Tirnoch hidden from the world. Anyone who learned too much had to die. But when Gadflow found her, you were the one who volunteered to kill him and seal Tirnoch away once more, even though you were fated to fail. It took every trick we had to get you here the first time, and you still died. I don't know if you plan to be resurrected, but knowing you, I wouldn't be surprised. Everyone who knows the truth of Tirnoch will be dead, and Tirnoch will be sealed away once again. We can return to our duty of keeping the knowledge secret, assuming that's the life you want to return to. But if you refuse, then I'd have to make sure you never tell the truth about Tirnoch. Of course, I'd rather it didn't come to that. but you would have done the same. Of course you won't. I won't let you. Let's go. Lead on. I'm right behind you.
You don't understand, do you? The power of Tianok.
Yes! Return to your graves! Lend me your power!
If Gadflow isn't here, then he must be hiding further underground, someplace closer to the source of the Prismere. Definitely. The war's not over yet. Whatever bargain Gadflow made with Tianok, it's about to pay off. When that happens, the world will not be spared her wrath. In the heart of Alabastra is the former unseelie city of Baal. Beneath the Winter King's court, there is the cave of Amathin. It's a place of tremendous power. It is where Tianok is imprisoned, and where you died. We were two of the people who were supposed to keep Tianok hidden from the world. Anyone who learned too much had to die. But when Gadflow found her, you were the one who volunteered to kill him and sealed Tianok away once more, even though you were fated to fail. It took every trick we had to get you here the first time, and you still died. I don't know if you plan to be resurrected, but knowing you, I wouldn't be surprised. She's imprisoned deep in the Amathin, but Gadflow's war has weakened her bonds. There's no time to spare. If she gets free, our world is lost. This way. Tianok is held captive deep in the Amathin, but her prison is weakening by the moment.
I feel you here again. Life, full of fate. What have you brought?
I can feel Tianok's eyes upon us.
Your power will. So much. Let's have a taste, shall we?
Pathetic. She just tore out a part of the fates you've stolen and turned it against you. Perhaps it is not inaccurate to think of her as a god.
Imprisoned here since before your kind emerged from the My freedom draws near. My freedom draws near.
No more delays. We cannot let Gadflow free Ternok.
God flows prayers, but he is not the one who set free.
No more delays. Don't listen. You're the only one who has the power to stop her.
When you first came to the death road, and you were so eager to play your role.
You chose this? What does she mean by that? Ternok awakens. We need to move. Ternok's power is immense. She just tore off a splinter of what you could have been and turned it against you. When she killed you, that much power must have torn you free of the entire tapestry of fate. This way.
I gave you freedom, and now you have freedom. Mine.
Only you have the power to reseal Ternok inside the Amethyst. I must keep the secret of her existence from the world. Once Ternok is pushed back into her prison, these caverns must be sealed. But that leaves one question. Can I trust you to keep Ternok's secret? There are things in this world that must remain hidden. If the power of the dragons were widely known, well, you've seen what has happened here. Gadflow tapped a fraction of her power. He upset the great cycle of the Fae and waged a genocidal war on the young races. Just coming in contact with her power managed to free you from fate's bonds. And if you can turn that freedom against her, she will have no power over Amalur. Nothing like you has ever existed before. As always, there's no way of knowing your future. If you're victorious, it may be the last time you change the fate of the world. Even if you fall back into fate's weave once her influence is gone from this world, it will be a far better fate than what Ternok's emergence would bring. That is excellent. After all that you've done, it would have been a shame for you to die a second time. If you do escape, I will be watching you. And know this, anyone who learns the truth of what happens here, I will silence myself. Go. Stop Ternok from fully entering this world. But remember, my blades will always be at your back. Nothing in the world is fated to stop Ternok. That's why you're the only one who has a chance. I'm just here to make sure you take it. This way. There's no turning back now.
Fate Weaver, bring me your power. Sacrifice yourself and seal the fate of your world. Seal the fate of your world.
It's time to choose your fate. Amethyst lies beyond. This is where the dragon will breach the veil.
Come forward, mortals. Behold the birth of Tirnach. Attend your final hour.
My fate does not lie beyond those doors. You alone may change what is to come. Go!
Ah, yes. Welcome back, mortal. How does it feel, I wonder, to return to this place? Does the pain of your death still linger? Can you feel it echo through the air? And now, in this place, you shall witness the birth of Tirnach, the destruction of the Alpha, and the dawn of the endless winter. Yes, he comes. Tirnach the powerful, Tirnach the merciful. Qualla fella Tirnach, qualla sera Tirnach. Tirnach? Have I done well, lady? Are you pleased? Did I...
You have served your purpose.
But I have so much more to give.
And now, fateless one, you shall serve yours.
How could we have known that this would be a new beginning? I wonder now if we should have foreseen this outcome, but who knew then what fate would bring? I would have liked to have delivered this message in person, to see you one final time. That, however, would have been complicated. The order to which I belong had other plans. Were you ever to leave the crystalline fortress? When it comes to you, though, it seems no fate is written in stone. It was only through my assurances that your silence could be counted upon that either one of us still draws breath. I trust you will not make of me a liar. Were stories of what we have seen to begin to surface in the inns and taverns of Amalur, I would be asked to seek you out. And as we both know, the next time you die, there will be no return. But let us not speak of this. Your life is your own. Go now, and see what fate may bring you, or what fate you may bring. Perhaps one day in happier times, you and I will meet again. Until that day, I remain yours, Aelin Share.